Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. We're going to be looking at the week of June 12th through June 19th, and we have a very wonderful super full moon in Sagittarius that's happening on the 14th. Now, it will be at like 5:51 a.m. Mountain Time, so it'll, of course, vary throughout the world wherever you may be at. But there's some wonderful things coming in. First of all, it is a super full moon, which means it's going to be closer to us. Like I have a little diagram here of this is the sun and this is the earth and here's the moon. The full moon happens when it's over here and it's shining, beyond the earth where we can see it. In the night sky, of course. But it's called a super full moon because the moon does not orbit in an exact, orbit, very exactly circular. It's more oval. So when it's, orbiting like this and it comes into a closer spot normally than when it's out here, these are when they are super moons. So that's what's happening. It's just closer to the earth, which means that it has more of a gravitational pull. It's stronger energy, and so it's going to be extra emotional energy. And oh yay, but what's great is that it is in Sagittarius, and so that Sagittarius energy really brings in this fullness, this kind of fruition. It can have some drama, either, exciting dark drama or exciting happy drama, because it can bring in that optimism and the good luck of that Sagittarius and Jupiter energy that comes in with that. And it always goes, Sagittarius deals with travel and international things, language, cultures, international business, even learning and education. So there's going to be a lot of themes that can be happening and being touched by this super full moon during this time. And we are definitely going to look into that, because the Sagittarius energy also allows you to see things from a higher perspective. So that's one thing that we will look at for your reading, is what can you see from a higher perspective this week. Another exciting kind of astrological thing that's happening with that super full moon is that the Neptune is actually going to square with the sun and the earth, and the moon. So that is not a super fun kind of energy that comes in with it, because Neptune is going to be whispering too. So there could be some confusion, there can be some self-doubt, some second guessing of yourself. And so that's one thing we'll look at too, is what is Neptune whispering in your ear about your worth. So we'll look into that too. But that's kind of like not the bad news, it's just challenging news. But the positive news is that Saturn is actually at a beautiful degree with the moon, which is basically Saturn's all about long-term gains and like extra oomph, extra energy coming in that's going to help you with some forward movement, especially since Mercury just came out of retrograde, like around the 3rd or 4th, and towards the end of this week on the 19th is when we're completely going to be exiting out of even the shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So you're going to have all this energy to have this forward movement. So that's something else we'll ask, is what long-term gain can Saturn bring into you? And then, of course, we'll also dig in for some advice. So an exciting reading. I can't wait to get into this for you. I have going to provide a reading for each zodiac sign. And I'm going to go ahead and start with yours right now. All right, Sagittarians, this is your weekly energy update. And of course, because this full moon, the super full moon, is in your sign of Sagittarius, you are going to be even more impacted by this than any other sign. So we'll definitely see what's going on here. We'll take a look here and see what that Sagittarian energy is wanting you to look at from a higher perspective. We'll start off with these oracle of the 7 energies to find that out. And any of the cards that I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. So I'm excited. Let's give these a shuffle and get into this information for you. All right. So for our Sagittarians, all right, there we go. You've got the Tender Embrace. Beautiful card there. Card number 22, which is this wonderful, wonderful message of getting to know your spiritual side. You know, like I feel like Master number 11 is about us understanding, going through our ego human experience, and then 22 is mastering the realization that we're so much more than just that human side, that we are this, you know, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And I kind of feel like this is your higher self and your human self really embracing each other, because that's the next step that you're kind of taking here. But let's see what the book talks about here with the energies. All of that was intuitive. And this is compassion, warm-hearted care for self and others, sensitivity and empathy, benevolence and kindness. And this says, put your hand on your heart and breathe deeply, inhaling a sense of gratitude. Now, how do you feel? Keep doing this, tuning into the world around you, others you know, and even those you don't know. Can you feel compassion for them? Compassion is an emotion of tenderness and sensitivity. It's a feeling of benevolence and reverence as you stand witness to the suffering of the world. Now is the time to reduce that pain and focus on compassion in all areas of your life. Today, do something deliberately kind for another. Even looking a stranger in the eye and smiling can make a world of difference. The questions to ask now are, where can I be kinder and gentler? How can I serve, and in what capacity can I be in alignment with the solution to the suffering of the world? Could it be that you need to be more compassionate toward yourself? If you spend all your time in service to others, it's easy to forget about your own needs. And when you accept yourself, you can bring more loving energy to others. Today, make a commitment to practice self-compassion. Release yourself from the burdens of perfectionism. Allow yourself the grace to be human, and then do the same thing for others. It's not your job to tell others how to express themselves, even if you don't like the way the world behaves. Today, be kind for no reason at all, and watch miracles arise. Yes, this tender embrace. And as you connect to your higher self, as you connect to that unconditional love being that you are, you do have this flood of beautiful love that has no conditions to it at all. It only takes one condition to make it conditional, which is of this fear world, this fight or flight ego world. So as you connect to your celestial self, your higher self, and you feel that unconditional love fill you up, then you fill it up and it overflows out to the world. So I love this higher perspective. This connecting to your higher self is a huge piece here. Next, we're going to take the Black Tarot, and this is going to represent those whispers that Neptune is making to you about your worth, and we'll just see what they have to say. And this, of course, is for you. It's not, anything that the planetary energies do, the heavenly realm, any of that they actions they take aren't to embarrass us or make us look foolish or to punish us or anything like that. Everything they do is for our adventure and our journey. So even though sometimes they might razz us and irritate us, it's because they're doing it to get some fire out of us, to get us to take an action that's for our highest experience. And so we're going to see here, for our Sagittarians, what is Neptune whispering in your ear about your worth? Okay, actually, you get 3. Wow, okay, so they're whispering a lot here. Got the Queen of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. So we will take a look at that. And then you have the 5 of Wands. And also the Moon. So this makes sense. With these three all together here, the Queen of Swords is this balancing between your heart and your mind. And the moon is this about getting into your unconscious, the subconscious, the hidden, the unknown, really connecting to your upper, higher worlds as well. So you've got kind of this mind and emotion, and the Five of Wands in the middle. The Five of Wands kind of represents conflict, or because it's number 5, it's the change regarding conflict and how you're perceiving the energy around situations. And what's great is that you have both sides of it here. You have the mind, which we can have all these thoughts and beliefs of fear of the human world, right? When we see a situation from a place of fear. And then you also have seeing the reality of things, seeing things from the moon, from a higher perspective. The Five of Wands, usually I'll see like this kung fu movie playing in my head, where there's 5 people that are battling with their wands or their stabs. And you're like, oh my gosh, these are really, people are really wanting to hurt one another, and they're really going at it. Eventually it gets down to where one person's barely standing, the other 4 are exhausted, laying on the ground. And so we have our victor, and then you're like, what is he going to do next? End their lives? Or what's going to happen? This is this conflict, this fear that's happening. And then they all start laughing. And you're like, what is going on here? And they help each other up, and they put their stabs away, and they all buddy walk down the path back to the monastery, and they have a meal together at the meal hall. And then you realize, oh, so these were, brothers and sisters of the monastery that were helping each other train by having this little, battle, this little training session that they had. So this energy that happens here, it does convert from this feeling of fear to a energy of love instead. And so that's the transition that's happening here. And you're understanding this. And it makes total sense, because here you are, it's this embrace instead of a battle. And one of the things that happens in spirituality is when we become spiritual and we start having, this awareness that we're a spiritual being and so much more, there's always this message that seems to be so tightly wound within spirituality. We must destroy the ego. We must destroy our shadow. And it's like, no, that's a piece of us, right? It came here. It's the brave part of ourself that came here to experience the opposites of who we really are. So this whole journey that you head off to next is walking together with your shadow, giving your ego and your shadow what it's been looking for all along, which is this love from above. Because it's like the strength card. When we come down here, our little lion side of ourselves, on the strength card, there's like a lion and a maiden. The maiden's our higher self, kind of like this. Maiden's our higher self, and the lion's our human self. And the lion comes down and it is hungering, and it's looking for its sustenance outside of itself, but it's not finding it. But our higher self comes down, and it is made of unconditional love, and it knows the lion, what it's searching for is the unconditional love of back home. So it hugs it, it gives it that love, and that is this bond that comes together. So rather than it coming down to destroy it, it comes down to fulfill it. And then they walk hand in hand or hand in paw together, because it's a lion, through life together and experiencing this whole new phase. And so that's kind of like, I feel this message is coming here. But the Neptune, what they're whispering to you is conflict, fear, emotion. And the moon, of course, we were talking about the super full moon. So this massive energy of emotion is coming in. And so if you're feeling fear, normally a full moon expands what you're feeling, so your fear emotions are expanded. But a super full moon, boom, and because it's in your sign, boom, it's off the chart. So during this time, if you're feeling a great amount of angst and all these emotions that are rooted in fear, just know that you can take a deep breath, step back, and connect to your higher self, to that love from above, and then that gets exploded in your life instead. Now we're also going to take a look here with these You Are Awesome deck. This is going to be what Saturn is going to give to you long-term gains. Now, they're not a nonprofit organization that's just going to give you a bunch of stuff hoping that you'll donate to them. They are a taskmaster and a rewarder. So they're giving you this opportunity to transform how you're looking at things from a place of fear to a place of love. And in doing so, then they will reward you with this long-term gain. So we'll see what they mention here. All right, so Saturn for our Sagittarians. Okay, this will be your reward. And it says, looking to stay up here for a bit, I hold on to the good and let go of past troubles. There's a tree house here somewhere, I hope. Look at climbing above, climbing to a place where you have a continual place to rest and see things from a different perspective. Somewhere you can always, I'm going to say retreat to, but this little beautiful hideaway that you can step away from everything and see things from this different perspective. Perhaps it's on the moon. You know, you're climbing up to this higher place. So the reward is that with developing this awareness that you always have this safe place to be in. So I love that. We're also going to pull from the Chinese tarot. Just see what additional advice that the Creator and Spirit have for you around this week and around this situation here too. All right, so for our Sagittarians, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay, so they've got this one. I want these three to match that. Okay, gotcha. And then what for this last one? Okay. They're like the top one. All right, so we will start with this one over here. Yeah, 10 of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the 10 of Swords normally has someone like laying down, like stomach on the ground with all the 10 swords stabbed in their back. And they're looking away from us at the sunrise, which is a positive sign because they're not dead. They're just exhausted from trying to live up to all those expectations, all those things that bring you that anxiety. And so they're exhausted, but the 10 is endings and new beginnings. So you're ready to let that old way of thinking go and move into this new direction. And the Queen of Swords here is what can help you with that, because here's the Ace of Swords. And what the Ace of Swords does is it allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, but it also gives you the ability to slice away those small T truths that were rooted in fear. So you do have this cohesiveness here of the letting go of those old ways of thinking. And you open your mind for the new. And then you have the Four of Cups. And fours are very like a solid foundation. I always say, think of like a table, like a table back here with four solid legs, huge legs. It's a very solid foundation. Cups are your emotions. And so this is about emotional stability that comes in for you here. The Four of Cups, the standard one, usually will show like 3 cups that are in front of them. They're leaning up against a tree, and then here comes this cup from off screen from like the hand of the Creator, and that's the chalice. That's the Holy Grail. That's the love that we were talking about, that we're searching for. The other 3 cups, those represent the outside world. The cups that the lion, when I was talking about that strength card, what they were told to drink from in order to quench their thirst. And those 3 cups represent like 3 different types of areas of our life. One is relationships, which can be romantic or family or friends or work or schoolmates or even our fur babies, feather babies, whatever it may be. So one of the cups is relationships. The other is situations and circumstances like job, education, social status, just situations you can get in. And then the third cup is things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. And so the 3 cups that the person that's leaning up against the tree is bored with is what the 3 areas that the lion went to go drink from, and that did not feel fulfilling at all. And it made him feel even more thirsty and emptier. And because each of those 3 end up disappointing us, because people change or pass away, so relationships are not totally fulfilling, if fulfilling for long, if they're fulfilling at all, right? Situations never stay the same, and of course things in our bodies break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So all 3 of those cups represent these areas of our life that are disappointing to us, that in the end it's like I caught the carrot and the carrot tasted very bland, and so this new Ace of Cups that's coming in is showing you what you're truly hungering for. And so as you connect to that higher love, you do have the stability that comes in, because you're feeling like, finally, I'm taking a sip from this holy grail, the living waters of the unconditional love of the other realm, and it is quenching my thirst. Finally. And then you have temperance. Yeah. So temperance is about the balancing between the 2. And in fact, when you take the major arcana, and there's 21 total cards, if you take out the full card, there's 21 cards left. The first 7 are about your ego experience. The second row, which would be the strength card, number 8 through number 14, is about your spiritual experience. And so you're at the end of your spiritual experience, ready to bring in that balance between the human world and the spirit world. So again, this message of understanding there's 2 scales. There's the human world that's rooted in the fear of losing conditional love, and then the other scale, which is all about all those beliefs that are connected to the spirit realm of unconditional love. So definitely have that being repeated here. Yeah, and then you have Confucius as well. So Confucius, you can see it's number 20, double endings, double new beginnings. Usually they would have like an angel up above with this giant horn and some people in their coffins rising, standing up. And it represents this awareness, this movement, understanding that there are the 2 of you that are having this human experience, and that it's your higher self that is waking up your smaller self to it. So you're getting this message here. Definitely there's this invitation to understand that there are 2 of you that are living this human experience, and that it's about walking hand in hand, hand in paw together through it, because you're so much more than just that human character. In fact, there's so much of this in here. They had me start this free YouTube series at the beginning of this year called You ×2. And I'll have it linked down in the description box below, and I'll throw the playlist at the end of this video too. But it's all about getting to know the 2 of you that are living this human experience together. And so there's so much of that here. I really feel it would benefit you, and they're nudging me to tell you about it. It's, like I said, totally free. It's a video once a week. And they usually range from 10 minutes up to 20 minutes or so, depending on the subject matter. And it's all about helping you get to know that. So I would definitely check that out, because they're nudging you to do that. And then your final card is the Empress. Empress energy, creativity, new birth, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So this is this beautiful reward of abundance and new adventure, new things coming. She's usually even pregnant, showing that she's ready to give birth to something new. So definitely, that's kind of the reward here, is that you're ready for this next phase. You're ready for this next journey. You're ready to express yourself in a new way. With all this new energy and this new awareness coming in. So I definitely love this super full moon reading for you, all you Sagittarians. And if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign. Also, a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, Also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you check the all option, you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like a video and you share a video, comment on a video, subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am very, very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, fantastic, amazing Sagittarians, as you go through this amazing week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'll be talking to you very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.